can't travel with a baby. This is what everyone told my wife and I when our daughter Leoti was born, and we're out to prove them wrong. My name is Richard. I was born in the United States, and I've been traveling the world for the last 3 years. I met my wife Haixia in Shanghai, China. 5 months later, we were married. 9 months later, we had a baby girl. This show is about our very first trip with the new baby. You're watching The Adventures of Baby Leoti on the Trans-Mongolian Railway. Today, our family is preparing for the adventure of a lifetime. Quite literally. Our baby daughter Leoti has just turned 100 days old, and this will be the very first adventure of her lifetime. We are taking a trip that will span 2 continents, 3 countries, 36 cities, 6 time zones, and 4,735 miles. We've never traveled with the baby before, so we don't have any idea what we're doing. We're just preparing based on what we think we should prepare for, but we really, since we've never done this before, we don't know what to prepare for. First aid kit, cooling sheets, mucky mitts. It's basically hand sanitizer for children, right?
Yeah.
Diapers, oral wipes, antibacterial laundry soap, mosquito repellent, tote bags, disposable gloves, garbage bags, disposable cotton panties.
That's for me.
It's for her. Disposable toilet seat covers, matching umbrellas, laundry bags, emergency diaper changing bag, baby hair and body wash, face cleanser, more wet wipes. We're gonna bring all this?
This is mommy's bag. The mommy bag is quite spacious.
Is that moldy?
Yeah.
That's mold?
Yeah. Put it gently on the side.
Why is it moldy? All my coats are moldy. All right, it is September 24th, and we are all about to leave, and we're going to go to the Hongqiao Airport in Shanghai. We're going to take a plane from Shanghai to Beijing. We have a 3-hour layover in Beijing, and then we're going to take another plane from Beijing to Moscow, which is like an 8-hour flight. We're going to hang out in Moscow for a couple of days, and then we're going to get on a train, and we're going to take it all the way back home. I was born in the United States of America, and I didn't really do much traveling when I was young. I spent most of my childhood stuck in a really small, ultra-conservative town in Texas. When I was 30 years old, I left everything I knew behind so I could travel the world. It was during those travels that I met my wife, got married, and had a baby daughter. Now that Leoti is here with us, I want to give her that life that I never had. Instead of keeping her confined to one town or one country or one perspective, I want her to see the world. I want her to experience how truly incredible this world is. She's almost 4 months old, and she already has more visa stamps in her passport than I did when I was 30. And her journey begins today.
$10 pistol.
You can shoot with one hand.
Mommy's here. Daddy is here too. See? They're all here.
We're at the airport, and it's almost entirely empty because it's 11 o'clock at night. And our flight doesn't leave until like 8 o'clock in the morning. How many hours is that? 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 9 hours.
9 hours?
Our flight does not leave for 9 hours.
But the check-in is at least 3 hours in advance of departure.
We get food and something to drink and I don't know, whatever we need to be entertained, and we find a place that we can just lay a blanket down and camp out for the next several hours. We're basically using the airport as a hotel. So I'm sitting here in an empty airport, and my wife is extra vigilant, you know, and this is a matter of her being extra vigilant. Like she said that the reason that we need to get here early is because they recommend that you get to the airport 3 hours before your flight. So it's better safe than sorry. So here we are at the airport 8 hours before our flight.
Please watch your luggages. Hold the handrail. Mind your steps. 请扶稳行李，紧握扶手，注意脚下安全。
All right, we got our boarding passes and we got through security and we're on our way to the gate now. Yeah, that happy, positive, energetic, enthusiastic person that existed 8 or 9 hours ago, that person is dead now. This will be Leoti's very first flight, and we aren't really sure how she'll react. Luckily, the first flight is only from Shanghai to Beijing, which is just a few hours, so if she doesn't like it, it won't be so bad. But the next flight is a long one from Beijing to Moscow. For the sake of the other passengers, we're hoping she'll just sleep through it, because there's nothing worse than having someone else's crying baby on an international flight.
The emergency exits on this aircraft are located at front, rear, and within the cabin.
Leoti went the whole flight without a single tear. She may very well be a born traveler. During takeoff and landing, she seemed more curious than scared, and she even took a nap in between. The whole experience didn't seem to faze her much, and I am very proud of her. We made it to Beijing. We'll be here for about 3 hours, and then our next stop is Moscow. Now we're getting on a much longer international flight bound for Russia, and all of us are completely exhausted. We've been awake for well over 24 hours, and most of that time has been spent on our feet, lugging around 3 large suitcases, 3 bags, and a very active baby through various airport terminals. We've had little food, and we're getting more irritable by the hour. Best case scenario is that we can all have a nice long nap during this 8-hour flight and arrive in Moscow refreshed.
Exits or cabin aisle with your belongings. Do not through the emergency exit while traveling. Open the emergency exit handle during the emergency situation with the flight attendant's instructions.
See, one good thing about having a baby is we get first-class treatment on international flights. Leoti is basically a little rock star today. The airline staff brought out this awesome little crib that attaches to the wall directly in front of our seats. We can just put her in there and she's the happiest baby in the sky right now, which is a truly great thing because her mom and I desperately need to sleep. Because of that little baby, we were able to get front row seats on this flight, which means a lot more leg room, and that's worth quite a bit on such a long flight. It means a more restful sleep. What a good baby. So we finally made it to Moscow, but it looks like we're gonna be waiting for the rest of our lives to get through customs. If you liked this video, be sure to stay tuned for brand new episodes by subscribing to our channel, and feel free to tell us what you think about it in the comments section. The next episode of The Adventures of Baby Leoti on the Trans-Mongolian Railway will take place in Moscow, Russia, and it's definitely something you don't want to miss. Thank you for watching Triad Travelogues. We'll see you next time.